Welcome to the club. Thank you for coming to today's stream. I thought my microphone just disconnected because I didn't see the bar going up. I was like, oh, no, it's fine, it looks like. I think. Let me know if there's anything, like, that seems off or anything. Because I have been messing with my computer recently. I've rearranged a few things, and I'm going to be I'm basically getting, new audio stuff next week, I think. So I'm gonna have to move a lot of stuff again. It is what it is. It'll be good. I don't know. I have not figured out how the new audio setup that I'm gonna use for recording is going to work for stream yet. That's up in the air of if I end up, like, continuing to just, like, use my USB mic and just have to have two mics set up. But I'm kind of hoping that eventually I can get it figured out so that I'm using the different mic. I don't know if y'all will be able to tell much of a difference. I'm sure that I'm going to notice a difference in my recording for music and stuff, but I've like been thinking, I was like, will anyone like even notice when I switch unless I tell them? Like, I don't know. So I heard a buzz just as it started. I think sometimes the transition will occasionally make like a noise. So that could have been what that was. Alright, I need to do my daily. I might just hop into the events of Starbase 1. In progress though, I do know that This was the one we were on. We were on What Lies Beneath, was supposed to be the next step in our side story adventures. So after I get this daily done really quick, we will jump into the side quest. I don't know, they're fun. It's just now they're not part of the main arc anymore, so they're a bit obscure. But I enjoy them. I enjoy them very much. I'm so excited for ghosties. We're gonna have the ghosties. I mean the Devidians, but
listen up.
they're just the ghosties. My ankle is kind of like bothering me, but I cannot sit with my feet like on the floor normally, so it is what it is. I saw this like ad for a chair that had like a little like the armrests like folded all the way flat, and then like somebody had like their dog sitting on one of the armrests. And I was like, damn, if I had a chair like that, Nova would love that, but I have no reason to get a new chair right now. My current chair is not that old. And my current chair is really nice, but the armrest on it did break and is currently, like, being held together by a little bit of epoxy. But still mostly works fine. Oh. Like, you can actually kind of tell that the chair's like been epoxied because the one little bolt like sticks out a little bit now, but it still holds together. It's just the armrest. It's not like the whole load-bearing part of the chair. It was really bizarre though, like when it broke. I think I might have talked about it on last stream, because it was about like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, when it broke. So I might have mentioned this previously, but yeah, it literally I just, like, I leaned on it a little bit, as I've done, like, hundreds of times before, and it literally just snapped. It was wild. Alright. So many Klingons. The remaining Klingons. This is still wave 1, I guess. So many.
There's a break in incoming warp signatures. We may have a short amount of time before more arrive.
There's a break in incoming warp signatures.
Reading some heavier ships incoming. Raiders and battle cruisers.
We'll send the Herc after them. You know, I'll be real. After I've been watching like Starfleet Academy every week, like having no new episode felt so empty this Thursday. And it's like, I don't know, I can't, like, I really want to be excited for the new Strange New Worlds because, like, I am gonna watch it. Like, I'm gonna watch the new Strange New World season, but Paramount is just so, like, ugh right now, you know? Like, I don't have high hopes. Like, I'm not, like, I'm, like, not as excited about it as I feel like I wish I was. Like, I wish I was more excited for the new Strange New World seasons, but I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed by it. And it's like, if I was like a really like deep analysis sort of like YouTuber, I would definitely be like making deep dives on it, but I do have some plans to like discuss Star Trek on like my YouTube channel again. It is in the plans. I have a guest I'm intending to bring on to talk about Star Trek. Because the last time I did something like that was all the way back in 2023. Or not 2023, 2024. Sorry, I've got my years mixed up. But so it's like, there's like some things I'm gonna discuss, but I haven't gotten like too publicly involved in like the Academy like stuff because it's like I don't really have words for it, and other people have said it better than I can, like articulated like the issue, you know? Because it's really so like multifaceted, and I just like, I'm at a point where it's like everything about the world makes me upset on like a daily basis. Like, you know, it's like I don't get into like, you know, things that like happen locally much here either, unless like I've talked about a few things on here that end up making like national news type stuff because unfortunately Utah ends up in the news for fucked up reasons. But it's like, you know, like I've just been reflecting on like locally and like local like creative communities and stuff, like how there's like honestly like a lot of people who are like very comfortable like casually being like a little bit racist among other things, and it's just like, you know, when we have attitudes like that, this is ultimately why like this shit happens, is because there's so many people who just like don't care and won't speak up and stand up like when there's a problem going on and there's like injustice. And I honestly feel like canceling Starfleet Academy is a huge injustice. Like, it is. That's what it is. It's a decision that is largely fueled by queer hatred of queer people. Like, that's probably the biggest part of it. But it's also a decision that is racist and like also very misogynist. Like, there's so many layers of it, you know? Like, it's something that's, like, it intersects at all of these different issues, and it really upsets me, because it's like that, like, we know, like, Star Trek's supposed to be getting better. Like, as time goes on, we're supposed to be getting, like, better Trek, because we're supposed to be, like, learning more about humanity. Like, we should be doing better than, like, the original series. Like, the original series still had left a lot to be desired in terms of the depth of its women characters. And it's like, but you have, like, you have the corporation bowing to these fans that want, basically, Star Trek to have not changed since the 1960s, and it's like, so then you completely miss the point of Star Trek. Like, I'm sorry, like, Gene Roddenberry had a lot of flaws, too, as a human being, but he did intend for this show to grow with the audience. It was not supposed to be this, like, this thing that stayed the same for forever. Like, that wasn't its strength. That was supposed to evolve. Like, it would be like if we canceled Voyager because woman bad. Literally, like, that's, but I mean, there were people who called for it to be canceled. And the thing is, the people who are complaining about Academy, it's like, you know, even if, like, they were adults when, like, Voyager and Deep Space Nine were coming out, it's like, okay, hold on. So, what was I saying on the Voyager thing? People who were, I'm gonna get to the newcomer in a minute, but people who were even, like, adults at the time of, like, Voyager airing, because obviously I was not. I was not born until the end of Voyager's run. So it's like, I obviously, like, I only know what I've heard about that time, but it's like, even people who, like, were around and were, like, adults and fully developed frontal lobes when it aired, it's like, there's still the thing, like, it's been, like, 30 years since Voyager started, you know, like, possibly more, I think, or maybe it's almost 30, I think. I don't know the exact math on that, but there are these, like, there has been so much time, and it's like, a lot can change for that, even for people like, you know, even for adults. Like, people's opinions can change, and, you know, because I do find, like, we are in an era where people are like, becoming, you know, they're being influenced by the culture around them. And so even if it's like, oh, well, Voyager, like, it's like, well, nobody had an issue with Voyager. It's like, people did have an issue with Voyager. And it's like, even if you want to say, like, you didn't have an issue with Voyager, you know, that doesn't mean that, like, the same biases that made people not like Voyager are the same thing that are making people not like Academy now. Not to mention, it's like, I mean, the show had 10 episodes. Like, shows anymore don't have the time and aren't really given the chance to really truly flourish. Because, I mean, we all know Star Trek's not known for good first seasons. Like, in the overall track record of Star Trek, Academy had an amazing first season. Strange New Worlds and Academy had, like, really good first seasons, and I give a lot more grace to Academy because it's like, I mean, a lot of the actors are, like, younger people, you know. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, there is a money issue here. Like, obviously, there's a money issue with all of it, but, you know, another example of this is what happened to Prodigy, where it was, like, completely erased. Prodigy was very highly watched, very well loved by the fandom, not complained about nearly as much as Academy. And, it's like, and it still, it got worse treatment than Academy, because it was completely pushed off the service and deleted to the point where they had to go to Netflix to get it, and now, like, Netflix took it off, but I think it's because, like, you know, in the overall streaming landscape, there's a lot of people, like, who don't have streaming services, and things don't get watched because they don't have this or that, and a lot of people are not willing to buy a streaming service just for one show that it has. And so, but I also think that it is very pertinent to note that A lot of people do not have Paramount Plus because they canceled it in protest of CBS canceling Colbert, which is not like, it's not an insignificant part of this, considering that Stephen Colbert was on Starfleet Academy as well. Like, the thing is, it's not as simple as it wasn't being watched. It is absolutely not. This is absolutely a political choice, because it's in everything about like what direction Paramount is going as a company right now. It's not the money, because if it was the money, like, the thing is I you know, like, I went into Academy with, like, you know, I didn't try to, like, get my hopes up, because I was like, well, Section 31 was a, like, icky movie, like, you know, Star Trek can have some misses. And it's like, I loved it, you know, I had thoughts, but I loved the show. And I gave it, because I go into things and I like to give them a chance. I even gave Section 31 a chance, but we all know I'm not a fan of that one. It is the only Trek that you will hear me complain about, with the exception of, I will also complain about Into Darkness occasionally. But I haven't seen it in a while, so details don't quite remember as much. But yeah, it's like, I don't feel like Academy was something that was, like, in demand, like, it wasn't really, like, asked for by the fandom. It was developed by the company initially, and now for them to be like, oh, well, now we just don't want it anymore, that's not a financial decision. Because I think that if it was, like, if you know, if it was all financial, then they probably would have made Star Trek Legacy, which, I'm sorry everyone, we're not getting Star Trek Legacy. It has been the point where we're not getting it. But it's like, there are layers to this, because if they were solely motivated by financial decisions, then they would have made different choices, because Lower Decks was extremely popular, got canceled after 5 seasons. Legacy would have been very popular had they chose to make it. Like, there were multiple campaigns to make Legacy, but it's like, Legacy would have been expensive to make, so they didn't make it, but they also could have made a lot of money. I think they would have made more money off of Legacy than they made off of Academy. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, they're not making smart choices. But yeah, there was a lot of issues with, like, promotional stuff with Voyager, all of that. Like, TNG, DS9, and Voyager would have been canceled if they aired today. That is also true. Trump admin asked for it to be canned and turned over to Shatner. Which, y'all, can we talk about the fact that, like, Shatner's social media recently has been a little bit odd. Like, cause he, like, made the post where, like, it almost seemed, like, sarcastic in response to, like, when they said, like, oh, he should, like, helmet. Like, his response did not come across as, like, serious at all. And then he, like, made some posts, like, praising Academy. Like, what is this man doing? Like, I'm like, are we going to, like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, oh, like, I feel like, honestly, like, he might be in those just, like, old years, maybe he shouldn't be on the internet type thing, because it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, the way that his posts have been are a little bit concerning. No, he definitely didn't type any of it, like, for sure. I don't think he typed up, like, any of those posts. But it's like, I feel like there's a possibility that, like, he had somebody, like, it's like he had, like, somebody, like, type it for him. Like, I mean, but that's, like, an old people thing that kind of happens. But it's just funny because it's like, if he is, like, involved in these posts at all, he could not be, but if he's involved at all, they're like, there's a very, like, weird tone going on, you know? Like, it's just like, in seeing it all play out, I'm like, is he like okay? Like, do we need to put Grandpa back to bed type thing? Like, yeah.
Welcome to
But no, George Takei basically runs kind of like his own like social media like corner of the internet. So I feel like that's a little bit different situation than Shatner's account. Shatner was on his meds. Like I said, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But just, oh man, it's just like one of those things where it's like these posts like make no sense together. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm like, what? I don't know. I mean, in the overall scheme of things, I don't overthink it too much, but occasionally like I see a post of his and I was like, yeah, he either like isn't involved in this account anymore, or he's just like completely senile, which is totally possible. Like, I mean, how old is he? 95, I think now. Can't remember. 94. Close enough. But that is very old, and sometimes people's minds just aren't what they used to be, you know? Trek can't survive. The Braga also said Trek can't survive on 10 episodes a season. I mean, the thing is, though, is TV, oh, yay, I did guess right! I did something right for once, yay, because I'm really bad at remembering people's ages, even people I know, so, yeah, but the thing with, like, 10 episodes a season is there are downsides to it, but I've discussed this before where it's like, you're not getting 25 episodes a season anymore. In today's television, it just doesn't happen. And it's like, people are like, well, the VFX budget, etc. And it's like, but the thing is, it's like, it's not just the VFX budget that's making TV expensive to make. It's that they're like, the rules are different, the landscape is different. It's like, yeah, it's just like, there's so much that's different now about the way that production operates. Like, it's like we're gonna have to have, like, I mean, that's the thing is, we could maybe get 15, but I doubt it for Star Trek, because like, it's a different kind of show. I don't watch The Pit. I've heard a lot about it, but I have not watched it. But it's like, I've noticed that when there are some, like, broadcast television is different, and like the vast majority of like fictional shows are not like fictional shows as in like sci-fi fantasy type stuff, they're not being broadcast anymore, and so therefore it's like they're made for streaming, and streaming is like, I mean, there's shows that have less than 10 episodes a season, and I think like there's an argument to be made that the format isn't always like best suited for Star Trek, but I also think it's a matter of like, that's the format, like there's a point where you need to adapt to that. And I think that honestly it's like, I really think that like I think that like the Academy writers really did the best they could with the format. The Strange New Worlds writers are doing the best they can with the format. My issue with Strange New Worlds doesn't have really anything to do with the writing, like the writers themselves. I feel like it's a, I feel like it's more of, it's more of like a tonal shift, and I think that it's corporate influenced. I don't really blame the writers themselves as much for it. But it also makes me respect the Academy writers more, because they wrote the show they wanted to write, and then they stood on it and defended it, and when it got canceled, they have continued to defend it. The cast and crew have defended that to the end. They have stood up for their work, and I think that that is, you know, just incredible for them. I was a team when TNG started, and the whole it would be canceled thing is revisionist history. I don't know about like TNG, but I'm not talking about it from, I wasn't there. I'm not talking about it from like a, oh well, it would have been this or that. It's not I don't think that they meant that it would be canceled, like, it would be canceled then. I think they're I think where was the comment? I can't find, who said it, but I think the point being made was that if they were made today, they would have been canceled. Because, more from like a censorship standpoint, they would have been canceled, because Deep Space Nine absolutely could not have been made in its original form right now in this time. It would not be allowed. It would have been censored to all hell. And it's like, you know, and because it's even like, you know, in talking to people who haven't watched the series for a while, like occasionally I'll talk to people who have been like, oh, well, I mostly do my TNG rewatches, and that's fine. I'm not judging people for not rewatching it. But when I say something like, this is what this episode Deep Space Nine is about, I'll have people tell me, no, that's not what it's about. And I'm like, go back and watch it. That's exactly what it is about. Like, Deep Space Nine has some of the strongest allegory of the entire franchise. It's like, you would have issues with it being made, because I was talking to somebody who was like, oh, like, I don't want to get too specific, because this was like an embarrassing, it was like an embarrassing topic. I don't want to like go too deep into it, but I was talking to somebody just casually about Star Trek, and they were like, oh, Kira was not like actually like a terrorist. And I was like, huh? Like, what? Like, I don't know. My brain just kind of shut down, and I don't even remember where the conversation went after that, but somebody like said that to me. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? That's like a core part of like her character development. Like, she was very young when it happened, but it's like, that's revisionist to me. Like, that's just completely denying that the show existed. Like, I'm just saying, the concept of season needs to go. Sorry, I'm catching up on like some of the chat because I get on one, and then we're gonna get into this. If anyone wants to team up to join, feel free. But if anyone wants, I'm just like finishing this thought before I go dive into. We're doing this one. It's one of the Devidian missions. But concept of season needs to go. It's outlived its usefulness by about 20 years. I mean, I'd be interested in what your like alternative idea would be for that, because I think there's like, you have to have some way to like organize the production, because that's all it is like it's you know, it's organization for the way that the show's made. Listen, I don't know what they thought. I don't know what they thought. I walked away rather quickly. I did not, I feel it also like relevant to add that like, I did not know this person, and this was quite a while ago. Like, I didn't know this person well, like, not even really like an acquaintance type thing, like friend-ish, like acquaintance of a friend type thing. But this was ages ago. This was ages ago. I just remember it very distinctly because it was kind of, I don't know. That's what I mean. No, we all agree. Like, that's a core component of the storyline. It's like, it was something of like, they were like trying to like defend Kira, like, oh, well, but like, she wasn't really a terrorist. I was like, no, like, we have to acknowledge that fact that she was. Like, it's not, like, I'm not saying, like, you, like, do you think that means, like, you can't like the character? Like, you can still like the character. Like, it's just, this is a part of her background, and denying that is, like, missing the point of her arc. Because, yeah, it's like, everyone knows that. That's literally, like, that's, like, a core component. But, yeah, no, my point is, though, it's, like, I still strongly believe in, like, you are not going to change my mind on this. No one is going to change my mind on this. Star Trek is supposed to be getting, Star Trek is supposed to be getting, like, better and developing more and getting more inclusive and, like, more, like, exploring new things. Like, it's all about exploring strange new worlds, not exploring the same 5 worlds over and over again. It's why it's like, you know, I really wish, like, let's get, you know, some villains that are not the Borg. Let's, like, you know, if you're gonna, like, revisit stuff, let's go and revisit, like, that's why I love Lower Decks. They revisited stuff that didn't get revisited a lot. And it's like, you know, things that we didn't return to are referenced again, etc. But yeah, it's like, no, it was a ridiculous notion, but I don't know, I didn't ask about the Maquis, but I have heard some people tell me that, like, I've had some people tell me that's like, oh, like, there's like, nothing about it. The Maquis, like, except for, like, Chakotay and his crew are, like, actually terrible. I've heard that take before, and I'm like, but there is nuance there. There's so much nuance there. There's nuance to Kira's story. Like, because the thing is, it's like, I mean, like, you're not, like, Deep Space Nine is so good because it doesn't immediately demonize people for doing something that they felt like they had to do. Because, I mean, like, how many times does Cisco do something really kind of fucked up in Deep Space Nine? It happens pretty often. But yeah, it's like there's so much nuance and, like, interesting stuff baked into Deep Space Nine. We could talk about it all goddamn day. Like I said, I have like a video that should be coming up. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, is he did some fucked up stuff. No, I've seen that shirt. I've seen that shirt IRL. But unfortunately, the person that I know owns that shirt, I no longer speak to because they're a bit of a prick. Unfortunately, not everyone can be like, you know, not everyone can be like a good person, even if we're all into Star Trek, unfortunately. I'm just gonna do this on my own, I guess, since there were no takers for team. I own that shirt. Good for you. I'm glad someone else owns that shirt who is presumably not a prick. Because it's a good shirt. It's like, I like when, you know, we have to confront, like, that Star Trek operates in, like, the real world too. Like, this is a part of our real world. And, you know, I think sometimes people, like, need to reflect on that a little bit more when it comes to, like, canon arguments and stuff. It's like, well, this is, like, not precisely in canon. It's like, well, original series contradicted its own canon constantly. But it's like, you know, there's just so much you can learn, though, and I feel like that's part of why it's like Academy. I don't think, like, this is maybe gonna be controversial. I don't mean this in a way that I mean to, like, upset or offend anyone, because this is not, like, meaning that I think people are, like, you know, like, I don't think it's wrong to not have, like, to not have felt like Academy, like, represented you as an individual. Because I feel like, I'll be real, there were times that I'm watching it and I was like, damn, was I, like, that cringe in college? And granted, college was, like, what, like, oh god, college ended 6 years ago, goddamn. Anyway, but, like, my point is it was not that far in the past for me, and there were still moments where I was like, I'm cringing inside because I'm reminded of like my my college days, and I'm like, oh my god, was I that cringe? Probably. I was probably that cringe. But it's like, I still really resonated because I feel like I was within the demographic that like it was probably made for. And I don't necessarily fault older people for, and I don't mean old people, I mean older than me people. Don't take that the wrong way. Because that's not how I mean it at all. But for people who have, you know, been around longer and been fans of Star Trek longer, I don't think it's like a bad thing to admit that maybe you were not the target demographic. You know, it's like, I'm not the target demographic for Star Trek Scouts because it's for preschoolers. Like, that's fine. It's like, you know, if you watch it going into it knowing that like it's not directly your demographic, like I think there's a degree where it's like, you know, if you're from the older generation, it's like, you know, you can take it with a grain of salt, you know? Because it's like my parents watched it alongside, like, we're watching it every week. I was watching it, like, I don't live with them anymore, but, like, we always, like, had a discussion about it every week. I would hit them up and we'd discuss, and we always had for the record, my parents are Gen X. We always had very different, like, takes of pretty much every single week. Like, sometimes we had similar thoughts, but we had different takes every single week for pretty much every episode. What is happening here? Okay, I think my game just froze for a minute. But it just was interesting, and I think like those conversations are really great, and it's one of the things that like I think it made me love the show more, because I'm like, I love that it's like, I love that like we could have discussions because I feel like it just added to the experience for me. But it's sad to me that I've heard a lot of people say like because they didn't like it, they're like, nobody can like it. And it's like, it's okay to admit that you might not be the target demographic. I mean, me and my parents talked about it all the time. Like, they're like, oh, well, this is clearly a show made for like my generation. And it's like, you can still watch it and enjoy things about it, but like, there's gonna be certain characters that as somebody older, you're not gonna like. Like, I had issues, like, I took a lot of Academy personally because I had issues being like, oh my god, this character reminds me of somebody that I, like, know. and not in, like, a good way. Okay. Sorry, this is, like, this should not be that hard of a map to navigate, and yet, here I am. But anyway, it's like, there's a lot of, there's just a lot of things to consider, I think, because I had, like, I came across, like, online some of the most, like, vile comment threads about Starfleet Academy. I'm sure everyone's seen them. I came across one that had to do with a local circle of mine in which I did end up, like, saying something like, you know, you guys need to consider that this is, like, these are, like, because, you know, when people come in and they're like, oh, well, it's the queer agenda, etc., like, these are people's lives. These are people's lives that you are talking about as if it's some sort of, like theory or, like, story device, and it's like, these characters represent people that, like, we actually exist. And it's like, you know, there's considerations that you have to have when you're having conversations in order to do it tactfully and in a way that's not harming people, like, harming humanity, like, because you didn't like something personally. It's okay to not like something. But it's like, the way that you say things and the way that you go about that means, like, so much, you know? And it also really speaks to, yes, this is Bonniekins. We haven't got to the, like, really spooky part yet. But the other... Oh, also, I also don't consider Turnabout Intruder canon, Seda. Thank you for the contribution. I also would agree too, is like what happened with Enterprise was really sad, because like every time I hear about something that was intended for season 5, I get like sad, because I actually think that like season 4 of Enterprise, it's so sad that it took it so long to get good. But season 4 of Enterprise was probably like season 4 of Enterprise has actually one of my favorite two-parters in all of Star Trek. Like, it is up there in like my top 10 easily. And that's sad that it took into the last one, because it's the Terra Prime arc. It is one of my favorites. It is so good. It is so layered. I just, man, like, no, don't talk to me about the finale. Do not talk to me about the Enterprise finale. Like, nobody likes the Enterprise finale. I get that, but the thing is, it's like the finale was made because of an unfortunate chain of production events, and you know, it was weird. We all know it was weird. Like, just like don't even like talk to me about it. Like, it's not real. Like, Terra Prime is the finale as far as I'm concerned, because it is like, at least then we can pretend that it ended at its peak. But it really did end at its peak, with the exception of the final episode, you know? Like, it's just so devastating what happened, but unfortunately, like, I think they just took too long to find their way. But I feel bad for people who like it, the more people didn't. The thing is, I think it's one of those things though where it's like, I think they may have made the decision too early, because I think that if it had a little more time to maybe like find its audience, because I think that there's a lot of people who aren't really keeping up with things weekly anymore, especially in my generation. My generation is the binge-watching generation. So I think that there will be people, I think, that will find it and enjoy it a lot. So I think there's still like a chance for the show to be appreciated. And I hope, for the sake of like the people who work so hard to make it, like, I hope that there is... Where am I going? I hope that, like, it does continue to find, like, an audience, and, like, as they, like, put on season 2. But it's like, y'all, we have people writing petitions to try to get the season, like, to get season 2 to not air. And that is where I'm like, no, I do not, like, I'm sorry, I do not fucking care if you didn't like it. You're allowed to not like it. But the minute that you come on here and start attacking people, being, like, I don't even have, like, I'm trying to use nice language. Like, I mean, I say the fuck word a lot on stream, but it's like, I'm trying to use nice-ish language because I feel like this is a serious topic, and it's just, it's difficult sometimes. Oh shit, this is another one of those puzzles. It's just difficult sometimes because it's like, when you come in and you're just like mean as fuck, like, I have a problem with you immediately. Like, there's no need to be mean. And it's like, there's no reason to start this much shit over a show you didn't like. Especially when we're talking about, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, yeah, I think that there was a bit of a... There was a bit of a disconnect, like, generational disconnect, where it's like, yeah, I think that... How am I supposed to get around to that? Yeah, I forgot this shit was creepy. But... It's like, there's just things where it's like, you know, you're not, like, obligated to like every single Star Trek. I do wish people would have given Academy more of a chance anyway, but because of the generational disconnect, I think that there's, like, a degree of, like, sometimes it's not for you. I don't think it was only for the young generation, but I do think it was primarily targeted for the younger generation, and therefore I understand, like, I'm gonna feel differently about it than people from Gen X and older. Like, and see, I have a Gen X friend who's younger than my parents. He's the younger version of Gen X. Not the younger version, the younger side of Gen X that I'm like really excited to hear his take on the show, but he only gets like Star Trek when it comes out on DVD, so I'm like, damn, I'm like either that or I'm gonna have to be like, you're gonna have to come over and watch all of it. Okay, wait, I'm over here now. Okay.
Hello? Someone, please. You have to help me. I'm not sure. Oh, Prophet, no. He's back.
He's back! Sorry, okay. I think it might have been better if the poster of them laying on the academy grounds together wasn't the official poster used. Okay, here is the one, you know, I will 100% give you that one. I personally, like, when I first saw the poster, you wanna know what my reaction is? And this is me, I'm sorry. Come at me if you want. I don't like the motion picture uniforms. I don't like them. I don't like the color scheme. I don't like most of the things about them, but I particularly don't like the gray and like orangey new like nonsense, like the like, because they tried to do like a white gray and like muted like beigeish orangish thing. I fucking hate them. It is like the bane of my existence. And I'm like, I'm sorry, opinion invalid. I'm just kidding. You're allowed to have an opinion on the motion picture uniforms that differs from mine. But when I saw that poster where they were like the poster they officially used, and I saw the color of the uniforms, I immediately went, oh my god, it's fucking motion picture. They put them in fucking khakis! But then I've seen the trailer and I'm like, oh, actually this looks fine. Like, they color graded it so warm on the poster that they look like they're wearing khakis, and I think that contributes to the, like, the vibe people got. I'm not a fan of it at all. But it's also a thing where it's like that, I feel like it was a disservice because I don't feel like it represented the show. I feel like they should have made a poster that represented the show more accurately. Because it's like, the khaki color made it look not good. Like, it's actually one of like my only like chief complaints about the show was the way they did that poster and the marketing around it, because oh man, that was a choice that was made, and yeah, like, but I also feel like it's one of those things where I had to sit there for a minute, like, okay, I hate this color grading, I don't like how this looks, but you know, at the end of the day, I don't think I can go oh no, I can go through there, I guess I just have to wait for it to pass. Oh, and my bridge officers weren't fast enough, because of course they weren't. So it's like the khaki was weird, in my opinion, but sorry, this mission is taking more brain power than I remember. So I feel like that poster, just in general, the styling would have looked so much better if they used the colors that actually, like, were portrayed on camera in the show. But it should have been set entirely on a ship in the late 23rd century. The thing is, it's like, I don't really have like a super strong opinion on the 32nd century jump. I know some people do. I don't have many complaints about it per se, because I do think that they've made enough of like the lore for it to be interesting. I just do feel like there are some like, you know, like 23rd, 24th, like 24th century, I feel like we've covered. But I would love to actually see Star Trek explore the later 23rd or the 25th century more. I think, or even like the early 24th century. That is also one I'd be okay with. I would love to see that, but I also like, I don't feel like it's bad that they went to the 32nd century, because I feel like the show was made by the fact that they like called back to these Discovery characters who did do that time jump, and it's like, you know, like that's like, you know, again, it's like, it's I just feel like it's not something worth like arguing about, you know. But I feel like to me though, oh shit, I did not see that one. He gone? Okay. Yeah, there's some scary shit that happens here. I feel like though with the generational gap, I do think it is a degree of the tone. I've heard a couple of people say that, and if people express that respectfully, I don't have too much of an issue. It's when we start having a thing of like, and I don't engage with people. I don't engage with people on Starfleet Academy discourse if we cannot like agree that like, you know, queer people are humans too and deserve to, you know, have like lives. Cause that is like a take that I've seen. It's like, oh well, like, it's like, oh well, I don't want to have to see it. And I was like, well, you have, like, it is part of the world around you. Like, hi, I'm gay. Like, hi, I like women. Like, it doesn't have to be like a big deal, you know? Like, making a big issue out of it is part of why, like, you know, this guy does creep me out a lot. But I will say though, on the, like, I do think that one of the things that is interesting, I think that it added to the show, and I loved that they did the War College and like at Starfleet, like, contrast. Like, one of my favorite things about it, actually. So it's like, I had no issue with the tone of the show, because I feel like Starfleet was supposed to contrast the War College. Starfleet was supposed to be more free and like, you know, celebrating like innovation and ideas, and sometimes that means it's a little bit silly, but Star Trek, you know, has always like been silly, you know? It's always been a little bit silly since day one. I mean, really, we had the trouble with tribbles. Like, it's baked into Star Trek. I would have been disappointed if like the cadets didn't do something silly. And also like, oh my god, like, wait, where am I going? Or is it up here? It might be up here. I also like, Nala Ake is also like a contender for my top 10 favorite Star Trek characters, possibly top 5. And in terms of captains, definitely top 5. I'm sorry, she knocked a few people off the ranking, but I'm just gonna be honest, Archer is not on that list because I don't like him. So I like the show, and I would never project my dislike of the character onto like the actor, because I think that the actor did a good job, but I don't like Captain Archer. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a little bit funny that the ship was like the same shape as the comm badges. I think it was fun. But anyway. When you read Roddenberry's source material and his original vision for the show, there would be zero confusion. He could only get away with what the network let him. That is 100% true. That is a thing that, I mean, I've brought up even in this stream earlier. Because one thing that I had to hold my tongue so bad. I'm trying not to be better about, like, I try really hard not to comment on public posts. Because I just, like, you know, I have like an online presence, and like, you know, sometimes when I'm like on social media though, it's like I don't want to be like thinking all about like stuff I do online. Like sometimes I just need to like relax on social media and just like enjoy some fandom without like this extra stuff. Like, so it's like sometimes I have to sit like, sometimes I have to like hold back and be like, okay, like I don't need to get involved in this discourse. So one thing I will just tell y'all though, there was a comment somebody said that was arguing about Jean's vision in Academy, and Jean's vision would never allow this or that, and I was like, I found an image of like, because they were talking about some of the like foot close-ups, which like I don't love them. I don't have a problem with her being barefoot, but I don't love the close-ups personally. But if you're gonna bring that up and talk about Jean's vision, there's that like really weird foot massage scene from TNG. And if you look up like feet scenes in Star Trek, the top like 20 results won't even be about Starfleet Academy. They'll be about TNG and others. There's a lot of weird feet stuff in Star Trek. And it's like, you know, I don't think that's really something you can complain about in Academy when it's been in the show the whole time. And it's like, yeah, Jean's vision. And I just had to hold it back to not post that foot image in the replies, because it was not productive, and it was not like a good thing to contribute to the conversation. But I did think about it. Some people criticized about body issues because they're not overly smart. I keep thinking they weren't far enough. Wait, what are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about now. Just like, except why even have bodies? What, we're transcending having a physical body, I guess? I like Captain Wine Mom, she's a cutie. I agree. She's definitely like, of all the MILF energy people of Star Trek, she is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Wish she wasn't barefoot all the time. I was just talking about the feet. I didn't even see this. Can you even use the Matrix as an example? We know what originally was supposed to happen to Neo, but the network wouldn't budge. Yeah, this happens to a lot of media. Like, it's a very fascinating case study for people who are willing to discuss it in a mature way, because it's like, there really is so much like that is influenced by the world around it. Like, you can look at any show, like pretty much any show, and you can tell a lot about the time it was made by what is going on there. Fiction, like non-fiction, it's all there. Gene Roddenberry was an asshole. That is also true. It's like I'm one of those people where it's like my brain kind of shuts off at the whole Gene's vision thing, because I'm like, but like, he was an asshole, and I feel like at this point Star Trek kind of belongs to the people in a way. I do need to go check on my dog really quick, but I will be right back to finish off this mission, and hopefully, if there's any more puzzles, figure them out while trying to also keep up with chat. But I will be right back in just a moment. Alright. I have returned. Sorry, my allergies are getting to me a bit. And I've been yapping a bit loud today. Anyway, Alex cursed me. Oh my god. Plop this academy into a time where programmable matter has been introduced. Oh, okay, I see what you mean about the body stuff. Cause yeah, I mean, no, I agree. Like, I think it's like, I would have also been a little disappointed if they hadn't like, if they would have like had the doctor wandering around and like not also had like, you know, kind of like also other photonic beings around him. Like, you know, and the way I feel like he was largely there to be a part of Sam's narrative, and honestly, I loved that. It was one of my favorite parts of the whole season. I mean, because the thing is, it's like, I wouldn't say I liked every episode the same amount. It's one of those things where it was like, there's a lot of things like I was like, okay, this was like a really good episode, and this was like a good episode type thing. Like, that one was one, like, because the thing is, I feel like also, like, I don't frequently, like, start, like, tearing up at media. Like, I have to be, like, deeply affected by something, and it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like I had, like, tears running down my face at multiple points during Academy, like, to the point where I'm kind of like, I feel like I maybe want to go rewatch it, but also, like, me and my girlfriend have not finished Strange New World Season 3. I've seen Strange New World Season 3, but she has not, so we do need to watch that. But I low-key kind of like want to rewatch Academy already and see like what I didn't notice, but they are like they are kind of like they feel a lot more like locking in for a single episode than older Trek, just because like, oh shit, just because like they are pretty long episodes. And next on our list as well is Discovery, but we've been like doing some teamwork on a video game recently, so I got the Mario and Rabbids sequel on like a hella sale. So like I got the game and all the DLCs for $9. So I was so proud of my deal that that we've been playing that like nonstop. So that's why we really haven't been watching as much Star Trek. But no, I think like they should like definitely be like exploring programmable matter. The only thing I can figure is like maybe like at that point, like in the 32nd century, it's like some of these things that like we think would be like maybe the idea behind it is like some of these things that we think are like, oh well, why aren't they doing this or that? Like, you know, maybe like they just like don't care as much. But I think that it is established that like some of them care a little bit, considering that like they made Caleb cut his hair, so. Well, it's like, well, yeah, and that's the thing too, is it would open up a lot of things as well for like, you know, because it's like, I feel like, it, to a degree, it should be normalized for cisgender people to like explore their gender. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it should be like seen as a normal thing that sometimes you like wonder like what things would be like, or like, you know, just like, you know, want to like experiment with like presentation and all that. But it's like, it's so frowned upon, because it's like the second that like you want to do something like, it's like, oh well, like why is a guy wearing a skirt? And I was like, cause he like wants to, like, and it doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, like you always want to wear a skirt, but like it's something that like should just be like normalized. And I feel like the world would be better off if everybody just took like a giant chill pill about like things that don't really like matter in the overall scheme of things, because like it doesn't matter if a guy wants to wear a skirt. Like, people got so mad about, Jade. Why are they just there? I don't like this. Anyway. You know, the chains really add something to the atmosphere as well, I will say. But it's like, I just feel like, you know, because the thing is, it's like, I actually went through a phase when I was an older teenager where it's like, I did have like a moment where like, I kind of questioned my gender and considered like, do I actually identify like as a woman? And like I do, I 100% identify as a woman. But, you know, that's like now, it's like, you know, and I feel like there was like a lot of like toxic rhetoric around that time as well, like from Tumblr and stuff at times, like, because you had like people who were like, oh, well, like, you had a lot of people like, it wasn't really as common to say like, you know, gender like is a spectrum and like expression is a spectrum and you can always like, you know, it's okay to experiment, it's okay to be fluid. That was not really a thing that was as common like back in that time, because we're talking like 2000, what? Mid 2010s ish. I'm getting my years mixed up, but it's like there was a lot of like discourse where it was like you like had to like pick a label, and it's just that's just like it's wrong. Like you don't have to pick anything. Like you're actually never obligated to pick a label actually, because honestly, like your personal like, I mean, even like for sexuality, like it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. Like, it's like you're at the end of the day, it's like your sexuality like is for you. So like you don't like if you don't want to label it, you don't have to. Like, okay, you're like you find yourself attracted to like someone of a certain gender. Okay, great. So you're into that person. Like it doesn't have to be like so like rigid and like you have to like claim an identity, because it's like, you know, like that identity can change. I've talked about this before too, is like I've had like some moments of like I identified strictly as bisexual for so long, and I'm now at the point where it's like I don't really even feel comfortable like wearing that merch anymore, because it's like I don't really know like if that label fits me, and I don't really feel like I need to spend a lot of energy like, oh, I can use Badgie on the Devidians. I don't really feel like I need to like spend a lot of energy finding like finding like a label that is too specific to my thing, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like I am a woman who is into woman. Like that's really all there is like to it. I don't feel like I have to get any more specific than that. And it's like, just because I dated men in the past, like I've talked about this before, I won't get into it, but it's like I think that I was experiencing a lot of, you know, like compet, but also it's like, is lesbian the correct label for me? I don't know, and I don't really care. Like, I'm not gonna get involved in the discourse because it's like I'm just queer. Like I just am, you know? Like I am a queer woman. Great. I do keep telling people who tell me what a man is supposed to do. I don't know what word it censored there. It's like, yeah, no, that's the thing, is it's like gender roles are ultimately stupid. I don't know. I wasn't looking at the fit that close. Did it not fit well? I thought it fit fine. I thought it was just like, I mean, it was the same thing where I kind of have a thought where it's like, why like I don't really know like what, like if they were going for more of like a pencil type skirt, but like the flare, like there's a couple uniform choices that are not my personal favorite. Like I'm not a huge fan of like the asymmetrical hems. I think that they seem like impractical and a bit annoying personally. Okay, we're going to K7 now, I guess. But it's like, the thing is, it's like, people had a problem with Jade in a skirt, but nobody had a single issue with Scotty in a kilt. And it's like, but really, at the end of the day, this is a very similar, like, item of clothing. It's very, very similar. Where are we going? Oh, I'm still on Drozana. It just took me out of the map. Okay. The old missions are weird a bit. Had to do everything like manually and find shit back in the day. But anyway, it's like the thing is though, it's like I think that like but the thing is, it's like I think there's like an argument for like, oh damn it, I did mean to do that. I meant to go away. I think there's like an argument where it's like the practicality of different uniforms. One of the things I really like about Strange New Worlds is it's like some days we see number one sometimes in a dress and sometimes in pants. And I think some of that is like, you know, that makes perfect sense. It makes sense to me. Some days like you have uniform options and some days you don't want to wear a skirt. Some days it doesn't feel like comfortable and some days it doesn't feel practical. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, but if you're like at the academy, like you're mostly like in school, I feel like the skirts do make a little bit more sense, you know, because it's very like chill. Like you're at school, you want to be like comfy, but it's like but the thing is though, it's like there's also been like there's also been like things like that have shown like men in the scant uniform variant that presumably is probably being worn for similar reasons why kilts are comfortable for a lot of men, you know? It's like it is like a difference of like dress uniform versus not, but I mean actually though in Next Generation the dress uniforms were all knee length, and there was actually, oh my god, the scene, I don't remember what episode it's in, but there's a scene with Worf, correct? Like, I hope I'm not like imagining this, but I swear there's a scene with Worf where he complains about like the length of the dress uniforms, and somebody, I don't remember who, Riker maybe? Somebody, like, gets on him for it. Oh my god, I need to... But no, the thing is, it's like, there are arguments for, like, the style of it, but again, there are things I have, like, I'm not nitpicking the uniforms in Academy. I didn't care about the uniforms because I was too busy enjoying the show. But, you know, I do like costumes, and it's one of the things where it's like, I don't feel like I would really want to, like, in particular cosplay the Academy uniform, because it doesn't, like, it's not really a style I feel like I want to wear. Also, a lot of the time when I do Trek uniforms, like, I wear things that I feel like my original character would wear, and I don't feel like my like, original character I cosplay, generally, I would have to make a whole new OC, and that's, like, work, you know? Because I don't think Janelle Skye would still be alive in the 32nd century. And if she was, she would be ancient. So I have not like come to that time where I can portray that yet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day when I am like super old. And by super old, that means if I live that long type thing. Because I mean, the world's kind of burning, you know. But it's like if I live to be super old, like. One day, I feel like I do want to like do like a 32nd century cosplay. It would be fun. But I've also said that honestly, like one of the cosplays.
The Devidians have found a way to harness this until next time.
One of the cosplays that I've also said for like years now that I want to do when I'm older is Luoxana Troy. I feel like I don't want to do it, like, now, but I'm like, eventually, I'm gonna be so obnoxious. Anyway, yeah, design-wise, there are some things in Academy, like I was saying, they're not ones that I would, like, love to wear, but I feel like it's a matter of like, that's not really the thing that most people seem to have an issue with. Like, the issue they have is just that it's a skirt. Like, it's like, and it very much, I think, fits in with his character, because Jaden's entire story is about not conforming. Jaden's entire storyline is about not conforming to to the specific, like, basically there's not one way to be Klingon. He wants to be a healer. And, you know, his family doesn't really, like, accept that, but he's breaking the mold. He's basically, like, trying to, like, find his own path. And so for me, I was like, you know, the skirt perfectly, like, makes sense in that to me. Because it's different, and it's not what you would expect a Klingon to wear. But yeah, the practicality of the design itself, like, I mean, he's not the only one who wears a skirt. Some of the women wear skirts too, and it's like, I also did think, I was like, well, it's like a pencil skirt type thing. Am I remembering right? It's like I don't know. I was so not focused on the skirts. Hold on. What does the skirt uniform look like? Okay, some of these look... Somebody's made some fucking stylized ass versions of this skirt. Cause I'm seeing this eBay, like, costume, and oh my god, it is like a cheerleader skirt, but it didn't look like that. It doesn't... The ones in the show don't have that drape. Okay, so it's a... Okay, I guess if you're thinking, I don't know, when I think cheerleader skirt, I think like the pleated mostly, but I do know there are some cheerleaders who wear A-line. But the thing is, the original scant in TNG was an A-line type skirt. So this is an A-line, and from what I'm seeing, but it is... I wish there was a better image of it, because that is a cosplay. Okay, here's Genesis wearing it. Okay, so it's kind of an A-line in the way that it's constructed, but it's got the pleating on one side, that gives it a little bit more room. So it probably is like does not feel suffocating to wear, because like I'm not a pencil skirt fan. I've seen some people look like very cute in them, and I don't think I like look bad in them, but sometimes I'm just like, this is not comfortable. Like I was looking for one of mine because I was feeling inspired to wear one of my like tighter fit like denim skirts for a completely different reason, and I can't find it, and I'm like, did I just get rid of that? Because I feel like maybe I did just get rid of the skirt I'm thinking of like at some point, and I don't remember because it was too uncomfortable. But yeah, but it also kind of looks like in the original design that maybe the pleats look like they might not be like super functional, because they're only on one side. Okay, so Jaden's skirt from this angle has a little bit of flair. So it's like, it's not like as uncomfortable as I thought it would be. I was like, oh no, did they put him in a pencil skirt? No, they did not. My brain was not focused on the uniforms. Like I said, I need to do a rewatch already. But yeah, the scant, y'all. Return to tradition. I do think
Welcome to
one of the things I feel like is I feel like in the modern Trek, they've all gone with like tights underneath the skirts approach. I feel like they all wear like not even like tights, but like thick looking leggings under the skirts. In Strange New Worlds they do this too. And on the one hand, I feel like thick tights or leggings under a skirt is very practical for work on a starship. Personally, this is as a person who wears a lot of skirts, and I prefer skirts to pants. I prefer, well, to be fair, like I prefer almost anything to pants with buttons. Hate that. I don't like jeans. I wear them. I don't like them. I'm very picky about the way they fit, because I don't like the button. And when I'm wearing a skirt, I'm like, wow, so free. I'm wearing one right now. Like, I don't know if you see, I was like, wee, with the hem. But my legs are up very weirdly on my chair, so I'm just like, but I really like stretchy materials in general. A nice breezy skirt. Like, if I was in Starfleet and like the skirt was an option, like I would still be wearing it. I actually kind of low-key a little bit want to make a skirt to go with my lower decks uniform. The problem is I hate the way that I hate the place that jacket hits on me. So I feel like I would look stupid in it, but I kind of want to make one. But I feel like there should be like representation of both. I feel like it should be like an option. Because like for starship duty, I think that generally it makes sense. But like it's like what I said on an academy campus. I feel like it should be like whatever. You're in uniform, like there's uniform options. But maybe because of the potential for running, like maybe that is why, like maybe they're required to wear tights with it. Like that is like a thing sometimes in like uniform like dress codes. It's like you have to wear tights, like you can't have bare legs. That's a thing that I've heard of happening. And I mean, I'm sure that they fixed a lot of Earth's climate problems by the 32nd century, so they're probably not roasting all the time. The funny thing is, okay, I'm just gonna correct you on one point right there, because it is not the miniskirt is not only in Trek because they wanted men to watch the show in the 60s. There is a degree of, yes, of course they wanted men to watch the show in the 60s, but at the time, the miniskirt was a feminist symbol that women enjoyed wearing and wanted to wear. You know, especially on a show that's supposed to be about like diversity and empowerment, even though there is a lot to be desired in terms of the like woman empowerment on the original series, but you get what I mean. Okay, where am I going? Okay, I'm down here. Now where do I go? Why did I hide this comment? I'm gonna, for the sake of discussion, I'm gonna allow the comment because, I mean, that's not even that bad of a word. Sorry, I need to figure out where I'm going in this mission. Am I going up or down? Like, what's happening? Oh, no, did not mean to do that. Where is it pointing me? Okay, it's gotta be upstairs then. But I couldn't figure out where to go up there. What happened to my flashlight from the other mission? My God. I feel like there's supposed to be like a... Did it bug out? I'm gonna go in. Okay, anyway, so there were a lot of changes in the pilot, but the thing is, I'm sorry. Let's just be real here. The uniforms in the original pilot are ugly. They're ugly. And that's okay. They exist. You know, like... they're, you know, a part of Trek history. Okay, so that's just we should use as many people as possible. Am I supposed to be going through this? Oh. Oh, I had to blow it up first. Oh my god. Anyway, okay. Yeah, like I said, the pilot uniforms were ugly. Ugly. But I also think that there's a little bit of like I could also go all day about the miniskirts because I'm like, I'm sorry, as a woman, like, I feel like, because initially when I was first, like, into Star Trek, I liked the uniforms, but, like, as I started to, like, watch, like, past the original series, I was like, hey, like, why are, like, why like are the women in miniskirts? I was like, oh, maybe like when I was like a baby feminist, you know, I was like, oh, maybe this is like just because like of the men. But I really think it's beyond that because the miniskirt was a symbol of women's empowerment. And I mean, just in general, when they rated the costumes, they brightened up everything. They made the colors so much more eye-catching, you know. It's like there were a lot of changes, and I think like there was a degree of like visually, the dresses just generally look nicer. But I mean, the bar was in hell. The bar was in literal hell. Are those Devidians going back and forth? Okay, take a maintenance lift. Where? Oh, not here, I guess. Out that way? Okay, out that way. So, so it's like, there was obviously, like, multiple reasons, because there were also, I mean, anytime a woman's in a miniskirt, even if, like, she's wearing it entirely for herself, there's always gonna be some creepy men, you know? But it's like, there is a degree of, in the 60s, the miniskirt meant something different to feminists. And so, it's like, I think that we need to, like, analyze this in the historical context, because there was so much more to it. There was so much going on there, and there was so much going on in the 60s in general, that it's like, I think there were probably a lot of women on the show who probably didn't want to be masculinized because they were a professionally competent woman. Because that was a thing that happened a lot to it was seen to like, I mean, every decision in the 60s was made by men. Some man had to approve that decision, right? That is fact. I'm not discounting that, but I do. There was a point where like most of the women preferred the miniskirts because they were a symbol of the feminist movement at the time. What? Why? I will say though, by TNG, when we're talking about like Marina Sirtis and just the character of Troy in general, that was 100% sexism at work. Like, but the thing is, it's like, Troy's outfits, like, Troy had outfits that were better than others. My thing is, like, if they were gonna put her in something that looked more feminine, why was it not, like, the dress from Encounter at Farpoint, if she would have worn that the whole time, I wouldn't have had an issue. I do take deep issue with Troy's uniform choices, because on the one hand, it's like, I think that, like, they were trying to portray her as like, oh, well, she's supposed to be like more approachable as a counselor, and I'm like, I can see that argument, but, you know, if she's trying to be approachable as a counselor, why is she wearing like her boobiest outfit for the occasion type thing? Like, what? So switch memory banks 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so memory bank 3 now? So can I go back to that other console and do that now? Is that what it's saying? And don't get me started on what Jerry Ryan had to endure. But the thing is, it's like, I just feel like these are separate from the miniskirt costumes, because miniskirt is like a multifaceted sort of like, this is oh no, I did it wrong. Or did I not? I don't know. I used to be so good at these. I haven't played them in so long. But yeah, it's like, man, the TNG era for me is really where it's like, I feel like that was really where the, I think I okay, I reset it, I guess. Okay, so this is... Okay, so that's number 1. No, I completely agree. Troy looked better in the uniform. Because the thing is, like, I don't know. No, like, there was never like a thing of, like, they had to make her, you know, sexier. Like, she's, like, a very beautiful and sexy woman. They didn't need to do all that, like, work. Oh my god, T'Pol! T'Pol! Justice for T'Pol. Also another thing where it's like, come on now. Like, let's like, let her wear, like, something that represents, like, I could have totally seen her practically being, like, in some, like, Vulcan robes. Just to be like, I'm, like, kind of in, like, because she kind of had a little bit of, like, she wasn't, like, quite down with Starfleet yet. Like, I would have loved to see her in something that was completely, like, completely not what, like, any other officer would have been wearing, you know? Especially because it's, like, they actually, like, oh, shit, they actually, like, had, like, all of the other, you know, it's like they had all of the other, officers in, like, very practical jumpsuits, and then they got T'Pol in that. Okay, where was the number 3 one? It was down at the end of one of these. Right here, okay. So I think I do that, and then I need to go back to the number 1. There we go. Okay. Oh my god. That was harder than it should have been, though things are a lot harder when you're also trying to carry on a conversation about all of my, like, most heated, like, Star Trek topics. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh shit. Oh, I didn't put us on our disguises. I'm lost. Why all the options just mean, like, attack?
Follow me. I'm going to call security for an escort. I guess you're right.
Okay. Hey, I got past them. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, is like... Hold on. Oh yeah, I do have to go all the way around. What if I lock everybody in? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that just like the point of this section? I haven't played this in so long. But anyway, well, the thing is, it's like, let's just be a little bit honest with ourselves about the fact that the Axanar situation was avoidable. Like, I don't really, like, you know, care much about, like, how good the show was, etc. I've heard all these people like, oh, it's so good. It was like, I'm sorry, I don't care, because the situation was avoidable, and it is like a thing where it's like, we had a really good thing going and we did lose it because of him. But yeah, it's like, there's a lot of things that shouldn't have happened there. But I also think it's like, you know, I think that there are ways to, you know, like, keep the fandom alive that are not necessarily just fan films, because I mean, fan films something I've sometimes wanted to get into, but ultimately at the end of the day it's like, hold on.
You shouldn't be. Oh, just running a level 3 diagnostic on the subsystem. I'm really busy with it. Oh, hey. You shouldn't be here. You should get up to the quarantine area. I'm really busy with it. Oh, hey. You shouldn't be here.
Is there no way to get around this?
I know, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes. Although it's not here, I'll show you.
Or I'll show you. Okay. Yeah, like, the thing is, it's like, my understanding was there was a lot of ways for him to get out of that one, and that's why we ended up doing... The unfortunate thing is, like, corporations do suck, and it sucks that they, like, punished everybody for one guy. Like, they could have just, like, you know, sued the one guy, but they took it away from everybody. Okay, disable all power taps. Discharge. There we go. Okay. I did it. Now I have to get over here. Yeah, well, it's cause, like, I mean, like, I've been, like, thinking, I was like, oh, how could I, like, make, like, a fan film and, like, you know, I mean, I think I need to go down more. I mean, it's like, for one, and like not get in trouble, but also like not be out a shit ton of money because, like, damn it, I don't know where I'm going. Or is it connected? Is it connected to this room? Does not appear to be. Because it's like, also, it's like, I mean, fan films, like, are, you know, ultimately, like, a passion project, and it's like, they kind of have to be, like, self-funded, etc. I mean, considering that AI is a good part of the reason why I can't use my college degree, I do dislike AI heavily. Not like, I mean, not like all AI, but, like, generative AI specifically, you know? It's like, I feel like I have to make that clarification, because I had, like, some people be like, oh, so you, like, hate all of these, like, you know, things unrelated to generative AI, and I was like, no, because, like, AI has existed for however long, like, we're talking about the new, like, oh, damn it, I ended up in the same room again, didn't I? Wait, okay, hold on. I'm so lost. I majored in film and media arts. I'm a video editor. Oh, so we can't do that yet. I mean, my thing is, like, you know, it's funny at the end of the day because, like, you know, the direction my life has gone, I'm not, like, upset at the way that my life has gone. But it's like, you've completely lost, like, the soul of the work when you just use AI, because when you edit, and the way, like, I was taught to edit, is that you have to, like, feel like, you know, the pacing, like, it's as much like a personal artistic thing as it is about, like, you know, it's not just making cuts, you know? Like, oh. Guess I should have kept that door locked. Uh-oh. This is fine. I guess that was weird. But anyway, it's like I'm not mad at the direction my life has taken, because the thing is, it's like where was I going with this? Because I was trying to do, I finally found the other item, but I was gonna say, forgot where it was. I think the bridge officer is using the Tholian gun, but I don't know which one. Wait, neither of them have the Tholian gun. So what is it? Anyway, so I was talking about, but I had another point about the degree. Oh, I was saying about, like, the editing process. That's where it was. The editing process, like, when you're editing as a human versus when you cut something using AI, or you just continued, like, you just put these things in, because generative AI is not really AI. They're learning models, and they are, without anybody's permission, they are taking all of the work the artist spent, like, blood, sweat, and tears into. They are taking that and they are reusing it with no permission, no payment, or anything. And we live in a capitalist society. If people aren't getting paid, people can't eat, people can't afford to live. That's where we're at right now. And that's why it's like, I'm sorry, I am not going to put aside my dislike of it, because it's like, it is an issue. And I have talked to so many people who use AI, like, daily. Like, I have talked to so many people where it is in their jobs, it is integrated, and, you know, there are people in my life where it's like, they initially were, like, really excited about it. And we're getting to the point where those same people, it's like, yeah, we're not gonna have jobs in a couple years. Nobody's gonna have a job. And it's like, we're not in a position where we can do that. Yes, that is an upside. The one good thing is that the AI can't be copyrighted, because it shouldn't be. It's not original work. But it's like, you know, my thing is, like, I don't care about not having the money to make a Trek fan film. You know, it's like, it would be nice to make that, but at the end of the day, it's like, if I can't make that, you know, as a human, then I don't want to make it. It's just that plain and simple. Like, there is no argument that will change my mind on that, because it's like, I have seen this tool devastate the industry and devastate the lives of people that I deeply, deeply care about. And it's like, I mean, I would say, like, a good amount of the people that I, like, graduated with, don't have jobs in the industry either. And part of that is due to AI. As much as you want to say it helps and does this, that's just simply not true. That's not the reality. And I've had to explain this to so many people, but it's just not grounded in reality of what is actually happening here. Because it is taking away jobs. It is not enhancing those jobs. It is removing things. It's removing the soul out of artwork. And it's like, you know, okay, it can detect cancer. Great! Have it detect cancer or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't, like, it's like, I think it's great that it can detect cancer. Go use it for that. Get it out of the art industry. NLE. Why am I not recognizing that why am I not recognizing that, oh my god, the word is spacing my brain. That abbreviation. But the thing is though, is that when you're going from, okay, so say you're going from the film cutting to the digital editing, right? There is a skill that is like, oh shit. Ah! Well, I'm definitely not escaping them, I guess. I was yapping, and now I'm dying. Wait, I thought I unlocked the maintenance turbo lift. Did I not? There are different maintenance turbo lift. It's all maintenance turbo lifts. Okay, anyway, so... Oh, non-linear editing. Okay, so, but the thing is when you have these new technologies that you're bringing on, like, before generative AI, you're adding and enhancing them. You're not replacing them entirely. Because my thing is, it's like, I still feel like, damn it, I have to just beat up all these people, I guess. Anyway. But, it's like, when you're going from film cutting to, like, editing, there's still a part of the process that is the same, it's basically the same, in some ways. You're going about it in a different way. Generative AI is not that, because you are taking a huge part of the process out of it. And the thing is, it's like, there are a lot of people, so I talked to somebody who was like, I'm not afraid of generative AI. I talked to somebody who was like, well, you know, the writers, like, he's like, he was a writer, he's like, I'm not afraid of generative AI because this AI guy needs me to edit his books. And I had a discussion about it with someone who knows a lot more about generative AI than I do, and he said, he's like, you know, that's very interesting, because right now he's making thousands of dollars doing this and this editing, and it's a very good income for him. But he's like, in a year, that AI guy is not going to need him anymore. He is training his model off of this person's work, and yes, he's getting paid for it in this case, but that's often not the case. Often people are not getting paid for it. And so it's like, you can't put creative work into an AI. Like, because, well, it's like, it sure would be nice to then not have to worry about things a year from now, but like, when you are, especially where it's like, I do, you know, I do music now and stuff, you always have to be thinking about the next step, and you always have to be thinking about stuff, because that's just how, like, having a business works, even if that business is just yourself. But I also manage other talents as well, and those other talents feel the same way I do about generative AI, and, you know, people have real fears that they're not good enough, because they are now having to compete with, you know, people who can just AI generate a song by a prompt. But it's like, there's so much that goes into the creative process that can never be replicated by AI. And if it is, like, if you see something in AI and you're like, oh, that's pretty good, it's because someone else did the work before it. AI is only going off of what already exists. And so it's like, you're completely like, but the thing is also is, Death to the Opposition up here also, pointed out a very good point as well, is the price of PC components. There are all of these consequences to this industry growing so quickly, and it's not actually benefiting anybody. It's benefiting the top 1%. It's benefiting the top 1% of, people that own the tech companies, and it's not benefiting other people. Because at the end of the day, it's still going to eliminate the vast, like, a bunch of jobs. And it's not comparable to film versus digital, because, you know, and you do see film making a comeback sometimes. And I think, like, you know, that is a thing that people can do. I'm not into it, but I, like, you know, I, like, agree that, like, not agree, but it's like, I do think that it's important to preserve those methods as well. even though we have other tools now. But nothing before this has ever eliminated these things on a scale that, like, they do. And I also think as well, like, if you're saying, like, well, this person does a lot of editing of their work, I don't think that that's the majority, because most of the people who are utilizing it are utilizing it to make, like, crap, essentially. They're generating their memes or whatever, and it's like, you know, that's something that, like, really wouldn't have taken a lot of effort. And I have a sense of pride in my work, and I would never use it, because it's like, you take out the creative process for me. And again, we're going back as well, there is a resource issue. The World Health Organization says that generative AI will literally make us run out of water. But the thing is, it's like, I do think that they need us. I don't disagree. I don't think that right now, right this minute, it's like, oh, absolutely all hope is lost. Like, I think there is still, like, a degree of, like, right now, the humans are still needed, but we're not going to be there forever. And again, people are trying to raise the flag on this, and it is not being taken seriously enough that, like, that people are going to be out of jobs. And it's happening, because it's not just happening, like, you know, we had a new technology every few years. This is growing at a rate that it's like, it is completely, like, making entire, like, departments obsolete. And I do think that despite anybody's opinion, like, that really needs to be taken into consideration. Because, alright, because this McCoy... Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't pay attention. Here. Negative 70 plus 30. My brain. 70, 30. Exterior, interior, and exterior. Oh wait, there was one more thing. Did I get it right? Okay, I fucked up. There we go. Right? But the thing is the world still uses coal power quite a lot. And it's like, ultimately the problem is the system. It is the system that we live under that basically people are not able to survive if their industry collapses. That is ultimately the problem that we do need to solve. Like, it's a much bigger issue than one thing, but it is just a matter of, like, you know, this... Well, and it's also like, you know, in Utah they're building data centers, and they are leading to people having to, like, basically being forced out of homes they've lived in for, like, ages because the area cannot support the data center. They're being charged for the water. It's unethical. It's hugely unethical. And it's like, it doesn't matter what else is going on. Like, it doesn't matter oh, what about this, what about that? That's not a great way to go about it, because it's like, we're talking about this thing. This thing is the issue. And, it affects so many people in so many ways, and it's like, I'm of course talking about, I'm talking about it from the little bit selfish perspective of my industry, or my previous industry, because, I mean, but film is very intertwined with, with music and stuff. Like, it's all the creative industry. But you know, there's my perspective from the industry, and then there's also, like, the bigger picture. And, like, there's a lot more to it than just the argument from various industries and the job argument, because it's like we're basically super speeding the destruction of the earth right now. And again, Utah's a desert. We already don't have any water, and it's also like if our just a little fun fact for y'all who didn't know, if our hold on, there we go. If our Salt Lake, like if the Great Salt Lake evaporates, we will be releasing tons and tons of arsenic straight into the air, and it will like basically kill everyone in the region. So water's pretty important, and we have like none of it. I'm not arguing. I don't know the exact like details of the like exact usage for all of these centers. All I know is that the data center goes in, people around it are paying for the increased power, increased water usage, and it increased everything. You mean the cooling water? I mean, it goes into cooling the systems. I don't know. I am not in the mood to argue about this anymore, because clearly, like, I'm not gonna change your mind, and you're obviously not going to change my mind, because this is something that I feel extremely strongly about, and I have discussed with multiple people who know a lot more about it than I do. And I'm just like, you know, like, look up some sources that you know, might not only be pro-AI versus, like, not, because there are a lot of sources that will tell you, like, different things. If we had, like, replicators and technology from the Star Trek universe, we might be having a different conversation. But right now, under capitalism, the ethical generative AI is not currently possible under the current model, at least that I have heard of. And also the argument, I feel like, isn't the theory of it. I think that the issue is that right now in its current form, the models that we have in existence are not ethical. And I just would generally, like, I'm getting tired today. I need to go make some dinner. I need to go also finish some stuff before I go meet up with my Star Trek squad tonight. So, yeah, generally there are people who know a lot more about this topic than me, so those would be the sources I would seek out primarily to, like, go into it specifically, because I yapped a lot on stream today, and I've been having, like, allergies, etc., so my throat's leaving the chat. But, I appreciate everyone being open to lots of conversation today. I do love yapping, personally, but I also, like, I have a limit. I have a limit of how much I can do per day, and I think I have reached that because my throat was starting to hurt. But thank you, everyone, for joining me on this adventure. Oh, I need to figure out who we gonna raid. If there's anyone online. Where's my... There we go. Who's online? It's the category. Alright, looks like we're gonna probably end up over here. Anyway, like I said, thank you everyone for joining me. I don't know, I think I'll be online next week around the same time, but I'm not 100% sure, because there always could be a gig thing coming up, etc. Or just, like, you know, busy Friday, that happens sometimes. But thank you everyone for joining me and discussing and having a good time. We'll continue with the rest of the ghosties next time I am online. Thank you, stick around for the raid, bye from you!